it's Liz Yule from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today is Video Collaboration Blog Hop Day, and we have a theme of feminine. So this is the project that I am bringing to you. There will be a list of the other people taking part in the video hop below, so do go and have a look at their projects as well. This is using the the Best Dressed suite from the mini catalogue. It's a little box with some of the little gift cards. These are note cards and envelopes. They're 3 by 3. You get 3 designs. So there's the one that I'm using. There's a yellow splodge and a pinky purple splodge. It's purple posy. And then there are matching envelopes which are decorated on the inside as well. So really pretty little note cards. I know in some countries these won't be able to go through the post. In the UK they can, but do check with your own postal service. So these are really quick to put together. I will be showing you how to make the box as well, but I'm going to start by showing you how to make the little note cards. I've done 5, I'm going to do 6 to go in my box, and they just tuck in there. And I have to say it was pure fluke that the pattern basically matches, but it was pure fluke. And I've used just 1 sheet of the designer series paper for the cover. So let me show you how I put this together. So I've got my note card. I do need a scrap of paper because the first thing I want to do is to decorate the card even more. So I'll be using just 2 ink pads, Petal Pink and Memento. So I'm going to start just by echoing the pattern on the envelope. So I'm adding some flowers to my note card, and I'm going to be twisting the stamp as I go. You can add a piece of paper there so that you don't by accident go over to the back of the card, but I'm just going to do it by eye. I do need to re-ink my Petal Pink ink pad. That much I can tell you, because I'm getting very faint ink from this area, but that's fine. I only need it for, as I'm closing it, I only need it for 1 more stamp, so it's not a problem. So I'm going to turn to the inside. This is my cover, so this is my inside. I'm just going to ink up one of the splodges that comes in the stamp set, which of course I really should show you the stamp set, which is currently spread all over my desk. So this is the Dress to Impress stamp set. So I'm going to be using this image. I've used this one, and this is one of the splodges, and my sentiment is going to be Hello Fabulous. So let me grab that, because that is the next stamp that I'm going to use. Don't need that one anymore, and I don't need my Petal Pink ink anymore. So let's grab my Memento and just stamp that over the top of that splodge. So we've now got our sentiment. Don't want to put that away yet. I don't need that. Right. So I've got a scrap, and I do mean a scrap, of Whisper White card. And with that, I am going to, or on that I should say, is it going to fit there? Yes, I think it will. I'm just going to stamp my perfume bottle like that, and then pop that away. I am going to leave that to dry for a moment before I use a blend. So while I'm doing that, I'm just going to fold up my card, and I'll pop that in here because I can stick the perfume bottle on the front while we're waiting. Or while it's there. I am going to do my bow for the front of my perfume bottle, because if you notice I've got these little bows. I'm echoing a certain French perfume that has numbers. So I've taken some of the crinkle seam binding, which is part of the Poppy Suite, and I've coloured it with my dark black marker. And it's really simple to do. I have got a scrap of paper just to show you how to do it. All you do is you take the brush end, and with the side you just add ink. So it's as simple as that. I am going to just leave it there for the moment because I don't want to get any more black ink on me, and I've had quite a bit on me already by not waiting for it to dry, but it does dry quite quickly. So to make the bow, I'm just going to do bunny ears and grab those. I am going to. One of the things I would say about this ribbon, I love it because it ties really nice small flat bows. So from a postage point of view, it's amazing. And of course you can colour it as we've just done. But it is quite static, as in not it keeps in one place, but it has quite a lot of static in it. So it builds up static, which means it sort of attaches itself to you. So I just want the smallest little bow. So I find that the easiest way to adjust is just to hold the loop and then pull the other side. So you do need to work out which is the side to hold. And then you don't even want the knot to be tight. You want it to be a little bit loose, purely so that it will then end up flatter. So there we go. So just like that. Then let me grab my snips and trim 1 and 2. And this is what I mean by it's static. It's very attractive to everything. Right, okay, so let me grab my, I've got a dark petal pink blend. So to colour this in, all you need to do is literally just colour in, and I'm leaving the label white, so I'm just colouring in the area around the label, and it's as simple as that. And then run it through your die cutter with the matching dies, because we have dies to go with. So we've got the bag, and then we've got all these lovely dies that cut out not every stamp, but quite a lot of them. So we've got a lipstick, a perfume bottle, then we've got buttons that we can add, and buckles and florals and the shoe. So I say not every, pretty much every icon, every image. So that's that, but in true Blue Peter fashion, here's one I've prepared earlier. To stick it to your perfume bottle, to stick your bow to your perfume bottle, you just need a mini glue dot. Pop it on the neck of your bottle, and this is why you don't want your bow to be too tight, because you want to just have the bow the same sort of size as the glue dot. And then on the back you just need 2 dimensionals. You can use the large ones because they do fit on the neck of the perfume bottle. Then just peel those off and pop it onto your card. And I like to put these things on at a jaunty angle. And that is your little card. So that's easy. So we can add that to our box of cards. And as I say, I've got 6 in here now. The dimensions of the box are 5 inches tall by 3 1/4 by just 1 inch. You could probably get 8 cards in there. But let me show you how it's made, for which I need to throw some stamps around. and let you have the dimensions. You're going to need 2 pieces of card, and I'm going Lovely Lipstick this time. So this is going to be a much brighter box. So I've got, for my base, which is this, 9 inches by 6. For my lid, I've got 6 1/4 by 4, except I've added 1/16 of an inch onto each of those sides. So it's actually 6 5/16 by 4 1/16. And that just makes it much easier to get the lid to be, to get on and off the base. Otherwise it can be a bit tight. There are other ways of doing it, but I prefer to just add 1/16 or a millimetre. And then for the other pieces, just give you the dimensions now. They will all be over on my website, which as ever is linked below. So I'm going to go Blackberry Bliss for my mats. So I've got 2 pieces that are 4 7/8 by 3 1/8, and 2 pieces that are 1 3/8 by 3 1/8. And then my Designer Series paper, this is 1 sheet, and it is all of 1 sheet. So it's 4 3/4 by 3 and 1 1/4 by 3. So it takes literally the whole of 1 sheet without any scraps. So let me show you how I made it. So I've got my Simply Scored and my lovely lipstick, and this I'm going to score at 1 inch, 4 1/4 inches, 5 1/4 inches, and 8 1/2. So that's that, and then just 1 inch at the base. And then the smaller piece for the lid, which remember is slightly larger than 6 1/4 by 4, I'm going to score at 1 1/2 inches on each side. And this is where, because we've added the 1/16 of an inch, it doesn't actually matter. We don't have to worry about that anymore, because we're turning the card rather than measuring. So here we'd be going 4 1/2, but we're not, because we've got that extra 1/16, if that makes sense. So just keep turning that round. And then we just need to burnish our folds, or our score lines, so that they're nice and taut. So it's an interesting day in South Oxfordshire today. When we got up, bearing in mind the clocks have now changed, and my brain really hasn't got over that yet. It never does, it takes a while. Even though I don't have to get up to go to work, this is my work, it's still weird. It's just, you know, not right. I do try and get up at the sort of the sensible same time as the clock time. It doesn't really work for me. So we're going to, on the 1/2 inch side, cut the corners off and then trim up to lose that little piece at the bottom. So yes, so it was lovely when I woke up this morning, and now it's grey. So I'm going to cut straight up the rectangles and wedge into these 2 squares. We had lovely, lovely weather last week. So straight into the rectangle and wedge into the square. So yes, lovely weather last week, and now it's grey. It was really nice and warm last week as well. So that was lovely while we were doing our first week of full self-isolation. Only allowed to go out for essentials and for exercise once a day. I should rephrase that. We're allowed to go out for exercise once a day and essentials. So you don't go out for essentials once a day is what I'm trying to say. So this is the shape that you end up with. And I'm actually going to use liquid adhesive. You could use tear and tape. I would not recommend snail for this. So I'm going to add not huge amounts of Tombow kind of get into the extreme edge, and then fold that over, burnish, or press down, and I like to go in both directions so that it's nice and definitely right. Then pop in your sides. This is the back, so that goes in next. So I'm going to add a small amount there. You don't need to, but I like to because it helps keep everything together. And then fold that in place, and then just grab, I find a blend is really good, a blender pen, or blends pen I should say, really good at pressing those down, and then add some more adhesive to this and spread it so it's thin, and then again pop that up and press from inside. So that's that made. And then for the lid, I'm going to bring the squares round to here. So I'm going to cut into the rectangle again and wedge the square. So exactly the same as for the base, we're wedging into the square and keeping the rectangle straight. So square, wedge, and wedge. So yes, at the moment it is rather grey. We've had some rain, we've had sunshine, we've got less wind than we had yesterday, which was incredibly windy. It was a nice sunny day, but boy was it chilly. The wind was not pleasant. But there we go. It is, after all, only March. It'll be April later in the week, but at the moment it is only March. And the saying goes, March winds and April showers. So we've had the winds, and I guess we're waiting for the showers now. So again, I'm concentrating on the corner that is at the outside, because that's what you really want to make sure you glue down. So add some glue and then a little bit just in the corner. And you can see I'm not using a huge amount, just enough without going mad. And as I say, just concentrate on those corners, and then fold that in and hold, fold in, get it square and hold for a moment, and then the last two edges, so come in with one, and two, and then again in with something to press those in place. And then, oops, got a little fuzz there, and then that would fit really nicely on there if I'd cut this the right size, which I haven't. Right, okay, so you're going to see me make it again. I always say I do live videos, and I'm not lying. So let me see. Have I got a large enough piece of card? One, two, maybe. Okay, so clearly I cut that wrong. So it should be, I'm going to do my maths again, 3 1/4 plus 1 1/2 plus 1 1/2 is 3. So 3, 6 1/4. Yes, it should have been right. Oh well, clearly I didn't cut it right. So 6 1/4 by 4 and a smidge. So there's my smidge. Don't you love that I've got this wrong? Hey ho. I think I probably cut it at 6. I'm going to measure. I am just going to double check and measure. So 1.5, 4.5, 6, 1.5, 4.5. Yeah, should have been 6.25. There we go, 6.25 and a smidge. And I cut it at 6. You see, we can all make mistakes. Where are we? 20 minutes. Okay, so let's get a wiggle on and get this done. Okay, so as I was saying, score at 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. So, yes, I'm hoping that everyone is keeping well. I know a few people now who, not local to me, but who have definitely come down with symptoms of this bug. I don't know at the moment how seriously unwell they are. I mean, they both say that they feel fairly rough. You know, you get flu and you feel fairly rough. Now, there's a thing I heard recently, changing the subject a wee bit, and this was from a medic, that most people only get proper, full-blown, I don't mean a heavy cold, flu 3 or 4 times in their lives. So I've had it certainly 3 times, possibly 4. So hopefully, flu-wise, that should be me pretty much done. Don't, however, think that that will give me any protection from this current little, not so little outbreak, pandemic. Right, I'm just going to double check. Yes, okay. So, how are we? 22 minutes. This is going to be tight because I've only got half an hour before my camera goes to sleep. I mean, I can easily edit the videos together. So with luck, I will be finishing this within just 8 minutes. So while I'm doing this, do remember that if you don't already subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would be thrilled if you would. There's a subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner, so that would be fantastic if you could do that. Normally I don't go wrong in the middle of my videos, but I am very much one of those, I don't edit out the mistakes. I would rather you saw that everyone is human. And, you know, we're only playing with a bit of card. Get it wrong, just cut another piece of card. Just make sure it's not your last piece of card that you're videoing with. So, yes, if you would care to subscribe, that would be amazing. Now, I've already given you the dimensions for these, so that's good. If you are in the UK and need any Stampin' Up products, I would be thrilled if you would shop with me. I am running this as a business, so anything you can do to help me would be just so amazing. So, as I say, if you are in the UK, I would be thrilled to welcome you as a customer. I do try very hard to look after my customers well. If you use the host code when you order, then you get to share in the host rewards, and the host code is always in the video. It's in the video for the month when I made the video, so if you're watching this not in March 2020, it's not the video, the code that's in the video, but if you go over to my website, it's always there. If you are in any of the Stampin' Up! European countries, then you can join my team. We do cover Europe and the UK. I don't have anyone in Northern Ireland yet, but other than that, I am all over the UK with my team, who are amazing ladies. They say they are hobby demos, but some of them are more than that because they've got the odd customer, and they do some stunning work. So yeah, if you would like to sign up and you do so before the end of March, you get the Celebration joining offer, which means in addition to the £138 of product you can put in your basket, or in your starter kit, you can also add a free stamp set, and you get the mini trimmer, little guillotine, and a pack of Designer Series paper, a sort of sampler pack. And in Europe, the figures are, from memory, €175. That is from memory. So in the UK, the starter kit is, with free postage, £99. And in Europe, €120. Again, I believe those figures are correct for Europe. So it's an amazing, amazing value. So why not give it a try? You don't have to do videos or run classes. Well, obviously at the moment you can't run classes other than virtually, or with just other members of your immediate household. So yes, you don't have to sell. You can be your only customer, but you get a minimum 20% discount. That's the net off the net cost, so before tax. And all sorts of other benefits. So you get free tutorials from me, all sorts of bits and pieces. So do have a look at that. And let me just pop this together. It will fit, because it does fit. There we go. So that's my bright one. This is my more subtle one. So actually that's the front. So yes, I hope you enjoyed that with the interesting remake of the lid. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. As I say, my videos are normally full of madness, so if that's the sort of thing you like to keep you amused during these troubled times, do subscribe and then hit the notification bell. I'm hoping, if I can work the technology out, to do some live YouTube videos while we're going through this hiatus. I just need to work out how I can actually schedule those. I can schedule them on my laptop. Haven't quite worked out whether that then carries across to my mobile, which will be how I would film them. So we're getting there. Definitely doing Facebook Lives. My first one of those was... Where are we? What day is this? I'm saying by the end of March. And then I'm thinking that this is actually April. It is! So ignore joining. Well, don't ignore joining. You won't get the free stamp set and the Designer Series paper and the trimmer, because that was during Celebration, which is now over. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.